Hello, I'm John Feldt, and this is the Blue Water Outlook Midwest Flood Update. Well, here's the precipitation that fell over the last 24 hours. It's been a very active period, lots of severe weather, flash flooding over a large area. The areas in yellow received anywhere from 2.5 to 5 inches of rain, and you can see parts of the lower Missouri River drainage received fairly widespread 1 to 4 inches of rain. Then if we get into the Mississippi River drainage, just fairly scattered type precipitation in the lower parts of the middle Mississippi drainage. And then significant rain again over the Illinois, that's that area of yellow, significant rain in the 2 to 4 inch range in that region. Now there was a lot of severe weather. I wanted to point that out because in addition to the big flood threat we have going on, there was quite a bit of severe weather, including tornadoes. The areas in red indicate the confirmed tornado touchdown. The green is large hail and the blue is wind. There was a cluster of tornadoes near Oklahoma City. I'm not sure why those aren't plotting. Around Tulsa and then again around St. Louis area. So those quite a bit of severe weather, and sometimes when you get the severe weather, the precipitation is more scattered. In this case, we had fairly widespread rain in addition to the severe thunderstorms. So let's see how did that rainfall forecast from yesterday turn out. On the left is the actual rain, and on the right is the forecast. I think generally the alignment worked out pretty good, but if you look at the intensities over the Missouri River, that area of yellow is 3 to 4 inches of rain, and the forecast was only about 1.5 inches of rain up to 2 inches. So the rainfall forecast yesterday was under forecast over parts of the Missouri River Basin. It looks like it's fairly decent over the Mississippi and Illinois River Basins. So with that forecast coming in, the actual rain being higher, tributaries in particular river forecast would also be expected to be higher. So this is the big picture here. This is all the rain pretty much now. We've wrapped up most of the rain with this event. And you can see how widespread this rain event has been. Look at the areas of yellow. That's 3 inches or greater. Dark yellow or orange is 4. Then we get into the red. That's 6 inches. So look at the Missouri River drainage over Missouri, how widespread the rain was, as well as the Illinois River and parts of the lower Mississippi or the upper Mississippi River. Tremendous coverage of significant rain, and that's what is causing the flooding and forecast flooding over these rivers. So let's provide a quick overview of river forecasts. Starting with the Missouri River, you can see here that red is moderate flooding expected and purple is major flooding. We have major flooding expected at Jefferson City. Elsewhere, for the most part, it's moderate flooding. The tributaries and smaller creeks definitely went into flood stage due to the heavy rain overnight. So we definitely have quite a bit of flash flooding. But as far as the main stem river flooding, some scattered pockets of major flooding. Elsewhere, moderate flooding on the Missouri River. Now, if we look at the Mississippi River here, we see a little bit different story. We had a flood crest already working its way downstream, and we are expecting major flooding the entire reach from Burlington all the way down to very close to St. Louis. St. Louis is probably going to brush very close to major flood, but you can see almost the entire reach of that river is forecast to move into major flood. Now, the part from Keokuk down to around Hannibal is pretty much getting close to crest. It's going to be a very broad, long crest. But downstream, for example, at Grafton in St. Louis, those crests are going to be coming in the next several days. The river's still rising very quickly in those areas. And we can see that on the forecast here, Grafton on the left and St. Louis on the right. What's sort of interesting here is that both of these forecasts here, right upstream from St. Louis, are right now a forecast to crest within the top 7 highest crests. As a matter of fact, could even be closer to the top 5. We'll have to see on that, but right now these are significant floods just upstream from St. Louis. Now you might be interested, is there any more rain? I certainly remember 1993 when it didn't stop and we got more and more rain. Right now, the models continue to show just some more typical summertime scatter type precipitation, not the type of rainfall that would cause enough volume of water to increase the crest as we get into the middle or latter part of June. Now that can change, but right now I just don't see that occurring, and I see once these locations crest, they will continue to fall. Any local rain, any change to this probably would not be enough rain to increase the crest even higher at this time. But I will keep an eye on it. You can see in week 2 there's some heavy rain over Minnesota, but right now I think it's too early to get too much excited about that, and we'd want something further south anyway. So right now I think we're okay with the rain we have on the ground, probably not much after this to bring any higher crests. So the takeaway from today's briefing, for the most part the rain has ended. For these areas that I'm forecasting the more significant flooding, and crests are now working downstream. Areas most impacted are the Mississippi, the lower Missouri, and lower Illinois, and definitely their tributaries, which are experiencing significant flooding or even flash flooding. Then I expect a quieter spell with higher crests not likely as we get into the middle part of June. Thank you for listening to the Blue Water Outlook Mississippi River and Midwest briefing. And we will be updating this as needed over the next several days.